Did you take that Bepro trade when it hit the daily 21 EMA, or did you take a look at that video about a week ago and say, that guy is not a financial advisor, this is entertainment only, screw that guy? Well, let's take a look what has happened in the charts. All right, let's dive in. To me, for new viewers, statistically likely type of trade, I think that this is a statistically pretty solid trade right here. All right, so take a look at those lines. It's particularly looking at the drawn in one, the yellow line, okay? So when we flip to the real chart, you know that I didn't move jack shit. All right, so take a look. Here we go. So I was making that video about right here on the second. Zoom way in. Let's take a look. Zoom way in. I was making that video about right here on the second ping, and the price did actually go about 5% lower. However, within spot trading for altcoins in this highly volatile market, that is within very needed risk tolerance. So let's take a look at what has happened since then. If you took that trade right at that line to the target that I said later in the video, the percentage increase of the next pump will be a little bit bigger than the previous one because of the way altcoins move, not from wick low, but from, let's say, candle body. Here we go. 36% was the previous. So you could have put in sell orders for about 38 to 40% up. Bam, bam. Would you have gotten it? Absolutely. You would have been filled immediately. No pun intended. Fireworks. If you took that trade, you were cashing into the bank. So we've already covered Bepro on the long-term time frames. You already know what I'm thinking. I think that this can get very, very volatile to the upside. There might not be on the daily chart very good 20-bag opportunities because it might be, green day, and, or on the weekly scale, just might be green week after green week after green week. So, but I'm telling you, if you are on the smaller time frames, which I recommend people stay off of, but if you are looking to practice trading with, let's say you have 100,000 Bepro in total, okay? You move 90,000 to your main account, for example, on KuCoin, and you practice trading. So you practice trading and clicking around, leaving 90% in a hodl position. You don't touch them so in your trading account, you use 10K, only 10%. If you want to practice trading so that you're ready for the big game, honestly, Bepro's chart on the 1 hour and maybe daily, but using the 1 hour candles, drawing in your daily EMAs, it's a really good chart to be practicing with right now. And honestly, it has enough liquidity where people who have practiced and you're well practiced, this is a good chart just to straight up trade. Like this, I mean, it's just as profitable looking as using futures. I mean, if not more, perhaps more profitable, and it has liquidity. I mean, you probably can't be, market selling, market buying 50K of this stuff, but I don't think that's most of my viewership. So this is a really good chart to practice on, very similar to my silo challenge, trading challenge series. Silos, honestly, my plan has worked out really well, especially my original 1, 2, 3, 4 plan. When I added 6, the step 4, I said, hey, you might want to actually forget about that. And actually, that was actually correct. Making it a 6-step plan was not the right thing. Keeping to my original 4-step plan was. If you want to check out that series, look at my playlist and go to the Silo Trading Challenge. Anyway, so that's Bepro. I mean, it's following course, folks. It still looks good. You already know my thoughts. Weekly scale, I think we could get green week after green week after green week. You might have a red week slowdown here, but I think you could get to all-time highs, even on this wick high on a weekly scale, with only maybe 1 to 3 red weekly candles the whole way through December. I mean, it might not take till December. This might get volatile very fast. However, this is such a good chart to be practicing trading with. And honestly, if you're a supporter of this project, trading volume is a big deal. Like if you practice with a little bit of your stuff, I mean, it does nothing but help this project. It really does. Like more trading volume is nothing but good. So if you're a Bepro fan, I mean, you're supporting it and you're also helping yourself by practicing while safeguarding 90% of your portfolio, right? You're making yourself more profitable for the future when the big game happens, when Trias goes to $500, all this stuff, or when Bepro goes to 16 cents or 30 cents or 75 cents, whatever price target you have. I mean, it's literally a win-win scenario, assuming the less practice you are, the less amount you're using to practice, okay? So if you haven't practiced before, ever click buy and sell strategically or profitably, you might want to even use 5%. If you're well practiced, honestly, you might try with 30%. But I'm going to tell you, even if you're using 30%, you're well practiced, there's going to be a time pretty soon that it's going to be hard to trade this, but right now it is looking beautiful. You're going to help out the project quite a bit. So let's go to Polk. All right, so Polk, Polkasphere. Here we go. Polkamarkets. The week is looking hyper bullish. I mean, you do have an obstacle here. So these two candles, and guess what? It already tested it last week. So the more times you test it, the more likely or the more ability you have to break through. I mean, this was suppressed from all-time highs, 95%. It might get extremely volatile and make like a W looking shape. So like a what other chart did this? Was it MTV that made like a lopsided W like that? I mean, this could be what is happening. This is not an MTV video, but for shiznats and giggles, yeah, exactly like this. This is what Polk might do. Exactly, it is that W. Bam! I freaking nailed that. It might be doing that because it was so suppressed. I mean, even though it's a longer time frame, but this was down 98%, so it went through the end of the bear market, actually released itself in the depths of hell of the bear market, right? Polk not so much, but it got released in the depths of the hell of the Wyckoff stuff, essentially, right? April, May, so it came into existence at the top of a market, went down 95%. This honestly, this might be similar to Bepro. Through November. So October, end of October here, it might take for the first week of November, but the rest of November, this literally might scream up just like it. The chart looks the same, folks. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I think I might have said this, crypto, when you don't have whales pissing around and playing whale games, like on Bitcoin. So going any small alt, there are no whales in there. There are no whales in Bepro. It's going to move more naturally per mass market psychology of people looking to make money, and people like me knowing a lot of people looking to make money who are buying without knowing what they're doing, right? So that's what creates the chart in every spectrum in between, right? And I'm not saying I'm top of the food chain. Like I'm far from that. I'm just somewhere probably over half, right? I probably trade a lot better than most people trying to piss around with this. So I'm on the spectrum too. I didn't mean to insinuate that. The way I said it made it sound like that. Definitely didn't mean that, but there are a lot of different players, right? And it moves naturally. Mass market psychology without whale games. So anyway, without whale games, Polk, it has a strong chance of moving just like MTV did, folks. It literally might go straight up on a weekly scale. So that means if you buy on a day or after 4 super big green days in a row, guess what? Wait for a couple red days. That's still a green freaking week. Don't be stupid out there. Don't chase green candles. And honestly, right now, I mean, Polk is not looking that bad on the daily time frame at all. I mean, this is a decent amount of consolidation for a small cap that raced up, okay, out of a range from the bottom of the range, pinged off. So look at this journey. Watch, bottom of the range, raced up to the top, corrected 3 days, just like I was saying earlier, right? Wait, if you see a bunch of green candles in a row, don't freaking buy it. The week will still be green, but you're due for some red days. 1, 2, 3 candle corrections are very, very common. Mass market psychology, profit taking points, right? Or people who know what they're doing, who are knowing, oh wait, these people, buying up here, thank you for the money, right? Because this is a key level, and there are going to be a lot of sellers coming to the table. Anyway, hit the daily 10 perfectly. Now look, this is where it gets cool. It raced above its the top line of its range, stuck its freaking landing on the daily 200, which recently came into existence here. It didn't exist before October 2nd, right? That's when it became 200 days old. It's October 2nd. Raced up to the darn thing a lot and consolidated until the 10 EMA came. Check that 10 EMA like a mother. And you have this horizontal here. So the daily 10 EMA, that Coke bottle analogy, this is a squeeze play. This is a horizontal 10 EMA squeeze play. I think it's going to be very violent to the upside. Especially if Ethereum can keep hovering around it's all-time high like it is now, or slightly better. However, even if Ethereum, per my Bitcoin video, and if you haven't watched my recent Bitcoin video with the fear and greed thing, go watch that. That's a primary indicator. Bitcoin and Ethereum are primary indicators for altcoins. But I'm actually going to tell you an exception to that rule. For something like this, like Polk, even if Ethereum were to make an 8% correction down to its two-day 10 EMA, this is probably just being right. Like, it might wick below its daily 10, but it's probably not going anywhere. Bepro stuck its Polk stuck its landing. I think it's there to stay, bar or save, or unless something very drastic, a drastic drop on Bitcoin. Okay, that would take it down most likely back to the top of the range here. But even with an 8% move down on Ethereum, this is going to hold strong. And once Ethereum is back to all-time highs, consolidating around there, you're going to get that daily 10 EMA with horizontal squeeze play, and it's going to be Mentos inside of a shaken 2-liter Coke bottle. I know you've all seen those YouTube videos. If you haven't, stop everything you're doing, get off this video, and go watch Coke explode with Mentos in it, because that's what's going to happen to Polk. It's going to be fireworks. I'm telling you, it's going to take off. All right, so let's go to PDEX. Oh, PDEX still taking a nap. But, take a look. Patience, folks. Patience, folks. Just ignore this. Yeah, why I say ignore it? Just ignore the damn thing. Let me make a point. Its whole life is consolidation. Right? It's like in cryogenics, frozen. But it's like the Hulk. Imagine, so just because the Hulk is frozen in cryogenics, right? You release that beast, this crap's going to pop out. It's probably going to rage hard. And it's not a huge market cap either. What is it, in like the low 60s, or maybe right now in the 50s, 50 millions. This is Hulk cryogenics, still frozen. It will be thawed out once you get a weekly closure above the top of this. Actually, the top of the range is a little harder to define. This is actually not common. You're going to have one of two options. It's either going to be a weekly closure above 2511, or it's going to be, I would guess 2511, but you could get some form of fake out where you get a week there, then it goes red, but it actually has to close above this top line here, which is coordinated with or associated with these two candle closures. I would say that's not as likely, though. You might need a weekly closure above 2673. But one of those lines, that is the Hulk is thawed now. Release the beast. It's going to get it. So everybody here, hey, real quick, I wanted to share something with you. If you are new and you are in this market, here to make money, it's not, you don't just buy and pray, right? And that's a phrase on my channel. Buyers and prayers, you're going to get screwed, because you're going to get scared when things go down. You're going to sell and you're going to get screwed. So you need to keep following this channel. If you're a fan of Bepro or one of these three coins, I'm gonna help you through it. And if you like what you see here, actually returning viewers hit like. If you don't, you get flipped off. Did you do it? Okay. Well, you didn't. Damn it. All right. Well, you get flipped off. All right. And if you liked what you saw, new viewers, stick around. Hit that bell so you can stick around, so you can stay in the know and not get scared out selling. Have a statistical edge with what you're doing. But just, I cannot stress enough. Even though stuff is about ready to fly, be fearful. Be fearful. Be fearful. And also, watch the two videos, if you're new, popping up on your screen right now on both sides of me. These are some of the most important videos I've made. It can drastically change the outlook of how much money you take home to the bank. At the end of the bull run, y'all just got Timified.